Hey everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel of ServerAvatar. Today, we are diving into one of the most important topics that a lot of website owners ignores. That is cybersecurity. That's right. Cybersecurity is often overlooked when people are setting up and hosting their websites. But with the technology advancing at a rapid pace, all sort of attacks can target your sites. Yes, I am talking about brute force attacks, bot attacks, DDoS attacks, DOS attacks, and many more attacks. You might be thinking, can we really stop all these attacks with 100% certainty? Well, the truth is, total security is almost impossible. There are some new ways hackers gonna find out to hack your website. But here is the good news. We can try to build a system that as secure as possible, minimizing a risk and protecting your website from the most of the threats. So in this video, we are going to discuss how we can stop these types of attack, how we can check that our websites or our server is going on with any types of attack, and how we will take a secure steps to protect your websites. So let's start. So in this complete throughout tutorial, we are going to use a server avatar for the security feature, as we are hosting all the sites with a server avatar. So if you are the new user, please click on a get started and register yourself. And if you are the existing user, click on login. Here in our dashboard, you can see all of my servers. If you are the new to the server avatar and you don't know how you can connect your server, then you can watch my video. I have given the link in the description. So here you can see all of my servers. So now first question arises, how to check that my website or my server is going on with any type of attack. So there are the few simple steps or few simple ways you can check that your server or website is going on with any type of attack or not. Okay, so let's first start from there, that how we can check. So suppose I will go into the one of my server. Okay, so how here we will get to know. So here you will get to know from server load, memory usage, server resource, query monitoring, disk usage. If you found any type of suspicious activity in the server load, memory usage, disk usage, query monitoring, server resource usage, then you might have to consider that your website is undergoing on with any types of attack. Like suppose your server load, whenever the users or traffic is there, it is being reached at a 30 or 40%. Okay, now this is one of the time it reached to the 200%, 300%, but you don't have that traffic or you don't have that much users on your websites. At that time you have to consider that your site is going on with any types of attack. Same for the memory usage. If you found that your memory usage is high, then you can consider your website is going on with any type of attack. You can check for in a query monitoring that how many queries are going on, especially for the DDoS attack. You can be able to find out from here. Okay, now that is the one of the best and one of the basic thing you will do. Next thing, to get a surety, next thing you can do is go to the logs and you can check the logs here. Okay, here you can check for the authentication log. Here you can check for the system error and or event log, and Apache error and Apache access log. These are the specifically server level logs. That is not your site level log. So this is at a server level. Whenever your server is going on with any type of attack, you can check this. Okay, now that we have discussed that these two things, or for your website also you can check the logs. Okay, so now we have discussed the one of the two most basic things. Okay, now let's move forward and we'll discuss more these things in a detail. So there are basically two types of attacks can be placed. First is on your server and second is on your application. Okay, Now let's first start with a server, that how we can check that. We already checked that we can check the server load, memory usage, query monitoring, and we are for security we can check the logs. Okay, so now let's see what are the security we can apply at a server level from the server avatar panel. Okay, so first thing we will do is we will enable the firewall for this server. To enable the firewall, you just click on this toggle button and you just enable this toggle button, and you can see that firewall has been created. So here it will basically open the some of the few ports that are the basic requirement, that is the 2280, 443 and 43210. Now you want to create your custom or on your own firewall rule, so you have the options to click on a create a firewall. So from this, firewall can define or can identify what kind of internet traffic is allowed or blocked. So that this will help to secure your server. Apart from this, you have the options for the fail to ban. So fail to ban is an essential tool to fortify your server against an unauthorized access attack. So whenever anyone try to do a brute force attack on your servers, try to access a SSH by the use of a brute force attack, at that time fail to ban plays a crucial role on your for your server security. So how we can enable this fail to ban? So you just click on a toggle button and it will be enabled for your server. Okay, here we have the few things that we need to take care, that is the ban time, max retry and find time. So ban time sets the duration that an IP address remains blocked after exceeding the allowed maximum login attempts. The find time is a observation window during which fail to ban monitors a login attempts, and max retry defines the maximum possible login attempts from a single IP address within the specified find time. So by configuring this simple yet effective setting, you can proactive protect your SSH server, ensuring only legitimate access while keeping the malicious actors at bay. So here you can define your ban time, max retry and find time. According to your requirement and according to your choice, you can enter the ban time, max retry and find time. And whenever the system or fail to ban found that the any person has exceeded the max retrieve in the given time period, that is the find time, then it will ban that IP address for the provided time period. Okay, here you can see all the IP address. Here is the area where you will be able to see all the IP address that has been banned. Now one of the IP address has like suppose you are trying to log in on your server with a SSH and you have retried the defined time for the retry the login. At that time you can, here you have the options to delete that ban IP, and you also have the ignore IP options. Here you can see, here whenever the request or the max retry will be exit for this IP address, it will not take any actions, that will be considered as a exceptional. So any IP in the ignore IP will be considered as a exceptions. The fail to bans will be not able to work on that IP. Here you can manually add an IP for the ignore IP, and also for the ban IP you can add an IP. So these are the two foremost things you can do for your servers to make it a secure. So these two services is provided by the ServerAvatar to secure your server. Okay, apart from this you have the many other options to add on your server for the security level. Okay, now let's talk about the application level. We have talked about the server level. Now let's move to the application level, that how we can secure our application or our websites from the any malicious activity or any type of attack. Okay, so first and foremost thing to do is I would recommend to add a captcha code. Cloudflare, if you are managing your domain at a Cloudflare, you have the Cloudflare captcha code. You can integrate in your code, or if you are the WordPress developer, then you can install the plugins for the captcha. You also have the options for the Google captcha. This two I would recommend it to use. You can select any one of them according to your choice. So you can use a Google CAPTCHA and a Cloudflare CAPTCHA. You can integrate with your code, and if you want to integrate with a WordPress, you have the plugins that you can just add a key, and that has been set up. It will be set up on a forms. It can be set up at a domain level. So this CAPTCHA is the one of the most important things. So let me show you for the Cloudflare. For the Cloudflare, you can go to the Cloudflare dashboard, and in a Cloudflare dashboard, here you can see for the turnstile. Here click on add a widget and add a hostname, and here you have the widget mode that it should be managed, non-interactive and invisible. You can select from this and you can apply the CAPTCHA for this. Okay, so this is the about the CAPTCHA, Cloudflare CAPTCHA, Google CAPTCHA. You can search about it, that how we can integrate a Google CAPTCHA. That Google CAPTCHA, you have the code that will be provided by the Google. So you just need to integrate with your site. Once you will integrate, the CAPTCHA has been enabled. You can apply it at a domain level. Whenever someone try to visit a website, at that time you will add a CAPTCHA, so it will verify it is a robot or human. Apart from this, you can set it up at a form level. Like whenever you have the forms, at that time you can add a CAPTCHA. So whenever someone try to submit the form, they need to verify that it is the human. So whenever any bot try to send a multiple request to the forms, it can be stopped. So your database will be not scraped. It will be act as a genuine database, that it has the genuine users data. Otherwise, someone's try to flood your database. Some hackers can try to flood your database with unwanted entries. Next things you should do is the checking the logs of the application. That here also we don't know that it is going on with any types of attacks or not. So here server and website has been like related to each other. Like whenever any of the application has going on with any types of attack, you can directly sense it on a server's dashboard. Here from the dashboard you can sense it that whenever the server load is high or memory usage, you can identify that it is going on with some of your website is going on with any type of attack. So if you have the multiple websites, then you can check the logs that any site says a random number of requests or any bot attack is going on or not. Here you can also check with the logs in a access log. You can also check that any brute force attacks or any other attacks are going on or not. So logs is the one of the most important things you should first check whenever you found out or you think like my website is going on and it with any attacks. So at that time I recommend to check first logs. Okay. Now let's again talk about how we can secure this. So first thing, CAPTCHA. Second thing is rate limit. So rate limit you can apply at a web server level. Like if you are using the Apache, you have the two ways. You can use a HTA access file to add a rate limit, and other you have the web servers like Apache config file you can add. Same for the Nginx, but in a Nginx you don't have the .hta access file, so you have to create a Nginx files for the rate limit, or you can add it into the config file. Okay, another web server is a open light speed. So in a open light speed, you have the great support for the TAXS file. So you can add a rate limit in a .htaccess file in a open light speed, that is the OLS, and you can also add the directly rate limit into the config file. So these are the foremost things you can do. Okay. Now how we can add this rate limit? So whenever you are with a server avatars recommended to do not directly touch the any config file on your servers. Do each and everything with a server avatar panel. Otherwise it will run into the errors and it will give the conflicts to the package and the configurations made by the server avatar. So suppose you are using the Apache web server. Okay, in Apache web server you want to add a rate limit. Then how you can add? So you just first go to the file manager. In file manager you will find a conf. go to the conf. Here you can see the Apache has your web server files has been there. So just go inside, and here you have to create a new conf file. How we can create a new conf file? By click on a new file. So here just give a file name, like this is my rate limit .conf, and create. So it will be directly considered as the config file of your web server or for your application. So server avatar has made a configuration as like whenever you write any of the things in a conf in a Apache, then it will be directly considered as the config file. Okay. So here you can add a rate limit and all the stuffs. Now, what about a htaccess file? For htaccess file, go to this public HTML, and htaccess file is the hidden file. So to see all the hidden file, here enable this toggle button, and here you can see the htaccess file. You just need to open this file. Once you will open, here you have to add the rate limit code for your site. Okay. Let's check for the Nginx how we will do for the Nginx. So same way we are doing for the Nginx, but here the difference is we don't have the htaccess file. So we will directly create a config file and we are able to do. So here and go to the conf. Here you will find out the web server name, that is the Nginx, and here you need to add the conf file for this Nginx for the rate limit. Okay, same way for the OLS you have the htaccess file, and also with that you can create the conf file for that. Okay, so we have discussed about the rate limit that you can do. Okay, now we have the another thing. Whenever you are using the WordPress, whenever you are developing the site in a WordPress, you have the some of the security plugins, because the WordPress site are more vulnerable sites that are mostly undergoing with the any types of attacks that are going on with a WordPress type. Mostly it happen like that. So how we can secure the WordPress site? So we have the few plugins you can install, like WordFence plugin, all-in-one WP security and firewall plugin, iThemes security, Screwy security, and apart from this you have the many others options like a Defender security, and there are the many types of security plugins are there. But I would recommend to use the two security plugins, that is the all-in-one WP security firewall and WordPress security. So I will gonna show you the demo for the WordPress security. So I have the one of my site that has installed a WordPress has my security plugin. Okay, so I will first go to my dashboard. Okay, here you can see the WordFence. So WordFence is a free and paid subscription. Both types of subscription are available. So just to install it, you just go to the plugins, add the plugins, and here search for the WordFence. Whenever you search for the WordFence, you will be able to find this. This is the plugins that we are gonna use. So I have already set up. So whenever you will install a WordFence, it will ask for the license key. To generate the license key, go to the sites and select the free plan, and it will ask for your mail ID. Enter the mail ID, you will get the license key on email, and you have to enter that license key. Okay, so you have to enter that license key. Once you will enter, you will able to see the dashboard. Here you can see the complete dashboard. So here you can see the firewall, currently learning mode. Here you can see the firewall. Then we have the scan, that the scans type, malware signature community, all the things you can monitor from here. Okay, here you can check for the live traffic, audit log, Wiz lookup, import export option. Each and everything is there. Login security is also there, like if you want to use a one scan code or enter the key and enter a code from the authenticator app. This is the one of the most important thing I would like to recommend to you apply a two-factor authentication. As two-factor authentication has their own advantage. Like whenever someone has identified your ID and passwords, someone has in some of the malware it has found out that they have sent the ID and password at that time. Two-factor authentication plays the one of the most important key role, because this is a one-time OTP code working as a OTP code, so it will be with you only, so no one will able to log in onto your account. Okay, so and then we have the all options. Here you can see the all of the things it is providing. Like here I have told about a brute force protection. Here you can add a brute force protection configuration. Apart from this, here you can check for the rate limiting. Like here you can check all the rate limiting things are there, you can set it up. Then we have the allow listed URLs. So these are the few options that has been provided, you can explore it by on your own. Okay, so I have recommended this WordPress plugin. Apart from this, if you want to use a CAPTCHA, you can install the plugins for the Cloudflare CAPTCHA. You can also install for the Google CAPTCHA. You just write for the CAPTCHA. So here you can see the all the plugins for the CAPTCHA. Like this is the Cloudflare Turnstile CAPTCHA plugin. This is spam protection, anti-spam, and here you can see the CAPTCHA code, contact form 7 CAPTCHA. So these are the some of the plugins that you can use for the CAPTCHA. So these are the some of the best method and ways to check your application has been secured, or how to make that secure. These are the few ways, that are the few securities you can update. Okay, if you are using the server avatar, and if you have the WordPress site, then you have the options for the fail to ban also at a site level. So here you have to enter the jail configurations and the filter configurations. So the jail configuration editors is basically enables you to create a custom configurations for fail to ban jail. Jail is a specific sections where you define the rules to protect a particular applications or services. And filter configurations editors is you have for that you have the flexibility to design the custom filter for the selected jail. Filters are the rule sets that helps a fail to ban to analyze the log data and detect malicious behavior. So you can also use the fail to ban. So these are the some of the few ways to make your server secure, to make your site secure. So I hope that you have find out how we can check that our site has been going on with attack, how we can try to make them as secure, and how we can make to stop all types of attack. Okay, so if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and please do not forget to press the bell icon button. Thank you. If you want us some of the more videos like this, please ping on comment.